Have you ever wondered why some of the smartest people you know aren't the most successful? It's a puzzle, right? You see someone with a brilliant mind, someone who can grasp complex ideas in a heartbeat, yet they seem stuck, unable to translate that intelligence into real-world achievement. The truth is, intelligence alone isn't the golden ticket. It's a powerful engine, yes, but an engine without a driver is just a hunk of metal. The real drivers of success are discipline and focus. In our modern world, distractions are everywhere, constantly vying for our attention. Our phones buzz with notifications, social media feeds scroll endlessly, and our own minds can be the biggest culprits, pulling us into daydreams and what-if scenarios. Even the most intelligent person can find their potential scattered to the winds if they couldn't rein in these distractions. They might have 100 brilliant ideas, but if they can't focus on one and see it through, those ideas remain just that. Let me tell you about a young man named Alex. Alex was the smart kid in school. He aced tests without much effort, and everyone predicted he'd do great things. He got into a top university to study computer science, a field he was genuinely passionate about. His first year was a disaster. He was smart, but he'd never truly had to work for his grades before. Now, surrounded by equally bright peers, his natural talent wasn't enough. He'd sit down to code, but his phone would beckon. A quick scroll on social media would turn into an hour-long rabbit hole. He'd tell himself he'd start working after one more video, one more game. Before he knew it, the day was gone. He started missing deadlines, his code was sloppy, and his grades plummeted. He failed a crucial exam, a first in his life. That failure was a brutal wake-up call. It was humiliating. He looked in the mirror and didn't recognize the person staring back. This wasn't the future genius everyone expected. This was someone adrift, wasting his potential. He realized that his intelligence was useless without the discipline to apply it. The pain of that failure became his fuel. He knew he needed to change, but he didn't know how. Swallowing his pride, Alex scheduled a meeting with one of his professors, a man renowned not just for his academic brilliance, but for his incredible work ethic and productivity. Professor Miller listened patiently as Alex confessed his struggles with procrastination and distraction. The professor didn't scold him. Instead, he smiled faintly and shared a story from his own youth, a time when he too was a wild horse, full of energy, but running in every direction. He told Alex, "Your mind is a powerful tool, but right now, it's untrained. You need to become its master, not its servant." Professor Miller gave Alex a simple but challenging task. He said, "For the next week, I want you to work on one single feature of your app, just one, for 2 hours every day. No phone, no internet browsers open, except for what you absolutely need for coding. No music with lyrics. Put a sign on your door. Eliminate every single distraction you can think of. Your only universe for those 2 hours is your code." It sounded simple, but for Alex, it was one of the hardest things he'd ever done. The first day was agony. His mind screamed for distraction. The urge to check his phone felt like a physical itch. He kept thinking about emails, messages, what his friends were doing. But he remembered the sting of failure and the professor's words. He forced himself to stay seated, to stare at the screen, to bring his focus back again and again and again. Professor Miller had also given him 4 rules to live by, the pillars for building mental discipline. The first rule was to control your thoughts. He explained that you can't stop thoughts from popping into your head, but you can choose which ones to engage with. When a distracting thought appeared, Alex was to acknowledge it and gently let it go, like a cloud passing in the sky, always returning his attention to his task. The second rule was to create habits. Discipline isn't about relying on willpower, which is a finite resource. It's about building routines that run on autopilot. That 2-hour coding block, at the same time every day, was the start of a new habit. It was about making the decision once, and then just executing. The third rule was to stay away from distractions. This was the practical part. He turned off all notifications on his phone and computer. He used an app to block social media sites during his work hours. He created a clean, dedicated workspace. He was proactively designing an environment for focus, not reacting to distractions as they came. And the fourth, and most important rule, was to practice daily. Professor Miller told him, "Discipline is a muscle. You can't go to the gym once and expect to be strong. You have to work it out every single day, even on the days you don't feel like it." Consistency is what builds strength. Alex took these rules to heart. The first few days were a battle, but by the end of the week, something shifted. That 2-hour block started to feel less like a prison and more like a sanctuary. He was making real, tangible progress on his app for the first time. The feeling of accomplishment was far more satisfying than any temporary dopamine hit from social media. He continued this practice. The 2 hours became 3, then 4. His focus sharpened. He started applying the same principles to his studies. He would go to the library, leave his phone in his bag, and immerse himself in his textbooks. His grades bounced back, but more importantly, his confidence and self-respect returned. He learned that the goal wasn't just to build an app. The goal was to build himself. The app was just the project through which he was forging his discipline. By the end of the semester, he not only passed his exams with flying colors, but he had a working prototype of his time management app. He presented it to Professor Miller, who was incredibly impressed. This journey taught Alex the most valuable lesson of his life. His mind was like a wild horse. Untamed, it would run wild, chasing every whim and fancy, leading him nowhere. But with training, with a firm and guiding hand, it could be directed. It could be harnessed to pull him towards his destination, no matter how distant it seemed. Your mind is a wild horse, too. It has incredible power, energy, and potential. But are you letting it run wild, or are you holding the reins? Are you letting it be pulled in 1,000 different directions by notifications and fleeting desires? Or are you directing its power toward a clear and meaningful goal? You don't have to wait for a major failure like Alex did. You can start today. Pick one goal, just one. Define it clearly. Then carve out a block of time each day to work on it. Create your sanctuary of focus. Turn off the noise. Follow the 4 rules. Control your thoughts. Build habits. Eliminate distractions. And practice every single day. It won't be easy at first. Your mind will resist. The itch for distraction will be strong. But with persistent effort, you will begin to tame the wild horse. You will feel your focus sharpen, your productivity soar, and your self-respect grow. You will discover that the power to achieve your dreams was within you all along. It wasn't about being smarter. It was about becoming more disciplined. Take the reins, train your mind, and let it carry you to the incredible destination you've always dreamed of. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content to help you unlock your full potential. See you in the next one.